How's it going, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision, your daily source for knife and EDC content. Today, we are taking a look at some of my favorite Kizer knives that come in under that $100 price point. While we're getting started, let me know down in the comments what your EDC is today. Couple of key notes before we get started. I don't own every single Kizer that has ever come out. There are also Kizers that have been discontinued and are no longer in production and therefore not worth mentioning on this particular list. And third of all, there are knives that have come out recently that are still in production, but they are sold out. So there's no reason to put those on this particular list either. These are going to be knives that are in stock and knives that I own. We're going to kick the list off with the Kizer Task. This is one of my favorite budget knives that have come out over the last couple of years. They're going to come in between $59 and $69 depending on the version that you get. They have G10, which is $59, and then they have micarta, which is what you see here, that comes in at the $69 price point. You're also going to have a difference in steel, Nitro V to 154 cm, about 3 inches of 154 cm on this particular one. We have a nice satin finish on that sheepsfoot blade. We are looking at dual thumb studs there for deployment. Nice large choil area there. You can cheat up into that area, but I wouldn't call it a finger choil. Just a nice area for sharpening and kind of creeping up behind that edge. We are looking at the clutch lock, which is adjustable and is the best crossbar lock in the business. We have micarta over top of steel liners, and they are hollowed out in there for weight relief or milled out. We have a deep carry steel rollover clip, and it is going to be left hand friendly. This is a great knife. It's fun, it's fidgety, and it is very affordable. Next up, we're taking a look at the Mini Grouper. Now, this particular one is a special edition and is not in stock anymore. These sold like hotcakes. I think this particular one was sold out within like a minute of being available here in or late in 2024 before Halloween. Now, they do have several different variations of this knife. They're going to range between $70 and $80. They are also going to range from D2 to Nitro V, and then they have G10s and carbon fiber laminates, and I think a few other styles as well. If I didn't say it earlier, I'll have all these knives linked down below in the description and the pinned comment. We do have that really nice low drop point blade, nice consistent edge up to the tip. We have a very nice sharpening choil here. We have anodized thumb studs and a flipper tab. This is Kizer's first attempt at a button compression style lock. There was a few people who thought that the parakeet was the first attempt, and no, the Mini Grouper came out before that. We do have recessed steel liners in there, and we do have a couple of standoffs, and we're looking at Kizer's deep carry clip, surface mounted, screws are recessed, and it is going to be left hand friendly there, making this a pretty ambidextrous knife for lefties and righties. Because of that button compression lock, you do have a true detent in there. Kizer knows how to tune a detent. They know how to work the action around the pivot. This knife is absolutely flawless in that case, and if you look, when the handle is straight, look how low that tip is. This thing is just made for precise work, piercing work, detail work. Would make a fantastic EDC knife and give you all the fun and fidgetiness of a button lock. With the compression lock backing you up, this is an ultra fun and ultra tough knife. Next up, you're going to be getting a twofer here. This is the Kizer Momo and Mini Momo in their budget form. These are going to range in price, guys, depending on the version that you get, as low as around $60 all the way up to getting close to $200. So it really just depends, but I am sticking with under $100 for this video. So we went with the couple of budget ones, and I'll have the premium ones linked down there if you want to check them out as well. But these knives are Really cool, really unique, but not going to be for everyone. They are pretty good size. They are limited to their front flipper only deployment, and some people just don't care for those. I feel as though those people just aren't good at it, so therefore they don't like it. But if you like front flippers or think you might like them or just want to attempt to try one, I think the Momo series is one of the best when it comes to the design of the front flipper, how it is done, how high it is in relation to the frame. It just works really well. And as I said earlier, Kizer knows how to tune a detent. So it just makes the perfect recipe for learning how to front flip or getting a knife that you would enjoy doing all the front flipping. Now, this mini Momo here is going to come in 154 cm. We're looking at about 3.2 inches on that drop point blade. This has a nice black wash PVD coating, great sharpening choil on both of these. We have aluminum bolsters on both, and we're looking at black micarta on both of these as well. Now, the full-size Momo, I think those are going to range between like 70 and 90, depending on the variant that you get. You can get them in 14C. I believe you can get them in 154, and you can get them in Nitro V as well. The full-size Momo is going to come in with a 4.1 inch blade and be 9.5 overall. So it's going to be substantially bigger than the mini Momo. For most people, I would recommend the mini Momo here. It's going to be much more manageable for the majority of people. But if you're someone who really enjoys a full-size knife or an XL size knife, you're going to want to go with the full-size Momo. They're both going to be great piercing, slicing EDC knives. Next up, we're taking a look at the helmet from Kizer, and I think this knife got slept on quite a bit. I have been a big fan of this knife ever since I pulled it out of the box. These are going to range between 40 and 60 bucks, just depending on which version you get. The base one that comes in G10 and Nitro V can be often found under $40, and I think that is a spectacular price for this knife. We have Kizer's PVD coating, nice sheep's foot blade. We have a cutout and a rear flipper for the deployment, a nice set of jimping here. And then, as I've said, Kizer knows how to tune a detent, work the action around the pivot, keep those detents early on these flipper style knives so you're not going to have any issues with double clutching. This is going to be a fun knife to carry and use. It's a good size, about 3.2 inches of the Nitro V. This has the carbon fiber laminate over the G10, and although I'm not a huge fan of that, Kizer is the company who does it the best. I mean, if you didn't know, you probably, you just wouldn't find out because it's such a smooth transition that it really is hard to tell. It really looks like it could be a solid piece of carbon fiber. So they have upped the quality of this stuff and the finishing work of it, and it just works good, especially when we're talking $50. The carbon fiber laminate over the G10 is just fine. It looks good, and it feels good in hand. We have a deep carry clip there, and it is going to be reversible. We do have great access to that liner lock there, and there is a nice little chamfer on there. Such a great knife for the $40 to $50 price point. I believe this one came out sometime late in 2024 and has remained one of my main recommendations or high recommendations when it comes to a crossbar lock knife in this size around this price. The Bulldog is phenomenal. One of my favorite budget knives from Kizer. We have a $70 price point. We are looking at 154 cm, which Kizer does really well. We have this really unique modified drop foot style blade here. Really good looking blade shape and a really nice thin behind the edge cutter. We have a couple rows of jimping here, a nice long row, and then a secondary row if you need to get up on to that tip for some precise work. This is cut out nicely. Sharpening choil is good to go. Very comfortable knife. We do have dual thumb studs for deployment there. We are looking at Kizer's clutch lock again, and their micarta. We do have a recessed steel frame in there with internal milling, which is going to provide a little bit of weight relief. And then we do have a recessed deep carry clip here made out of steel, and it is going to be reversible, making this a completely ambidextrous knife. And this has a nice thin blade stock to it. And as I said, it comes down pretty thin as well. Just makes for a really nice cutter, and it's going to be easy to use. Next up, we're taking a look at an oldie but a goodie. This is the Kizer Bugai here. Now, this also comes in at least 2 different variations. They did a 3V version of this, I believe, and then they did a 154 cm version, which is what you see right here. We have a really nice dual ground drop point blade. It is tall. It is pretty thin in through here. Gets a little bit more robust going up to that tip. So you have a really nice stout tip for poking and really getting into material with that belly area. Decent sharpening choil. We have a fuller into a bullet hole cutout there. I've always thought that was really cool, and it does work really well. Nice row of jimping there up the spine. Looking at Kizer's micarta here again. The edges are chamfered off nicely, and this is kind of radius, so this is very comfortable in hand. Looking at their deep carry steel rollover clip, and this one is going to be partially recessed, but not too deep, but it isn't going to be completely surface mounted either. We do have good access to the liner there. Very easy to disengage this thing. Some people complained that it only had the cutout for deployment, but there's a lot of people out there who don't want a flipper tab. So you kind of have to pick your poison there. I'm a big fan of both combinations, or one or the other, so it really don't matter. But the Kizer Bugai has been one of my long-standing favorites from Kizer. Next up, we're taking a look at the Kizer Dogfish here. Now, here again, we're going to have a couple of different variations of this knife, which means we're going to have a couple different price points. This one here is going to be coming in at the $79 price point. They do have one that comes in aluminum, which is textured. Those are going to come in at $99. Now, we have the textured G10. This is green here. They also have a black one with an uncoated blade. We do have a nice drop point blade here, a little ramp with some jimping. This one is PVD coated and going to be coming in Nitro V, about 3.1 inches, and that's going to be the same with the Bugai. Kizer really plays right at that 3.1, 3.2 inch blade a lot. So just over the 3-inch roll for a lot of people, and I know some people don't like that. I'm of the opinion, make both, but don't keep everything in the middle. Make some 3-inchers and then make some larger knives. But hopefully we see a nice variety of larger knives this year. We're looking at their deep carry clip, and this one is mounted really nicely. It's going to carry very deep. We do have recessed steel liners here, typical deep carry steel rollover clip, and that is going to be reversible. In this case, we are looking at a cutout front and rear flipper for the deployment, and this is going to be the Trek style lock. It's basically a standard button plunge lock with just a slightly different location and how it's kind of done internally there. But for all intents and purposes, very similar to a button plunge lock. And this feels really good for what it is. Doesn't have a detent in there. We're relying on the spring. This works extremely well, and a lot of people have enjoyed this knife. The ergos are good. Pretty much land right in the designated spots if I'm choked up. And then back here in the standard grip, you still have this nice flat area that you can rest on, but I've pretty much lived up here anytime I've used this knife. Big fan of the Dogfish. I hope they do that in a button compression lock. Kizer's latest release, which I think has been a huge hit. I think a lot of them are out of stock now. You can still get them. You just have a waiting period of about a week and a half or so, which really ain't that bad. This is the new Kizer Parakeet and is going to be their second rendition of a button compression lock here. And I have to say, even though this is a little bit smaller, we're looking at 2.5 inches of Nitro V here. And we have dual thumb studs for deployment. Nice cutout sharpening area there. And the action is superb on this knife. I know some people were mad that it was a little bit smaller knife, but I think if this is popular enough, there's no question they'll make an XL or something similar in an XL. The button compression lock is going to be what the main hype is all about moving forward until people are sick of it and the next one comes along. Button plunge locks, crossbar locks have all been highly regarded, and then certain people get tired of them, which I don't blame them, but I still enjoy a good button plunge lock. I enjoy a button compression lock. You know, if it's done well, I'm going to, enjoy it if it's done well. But when stuff isn't done properly, then it's understandable that, you're not happy with it. I love that they shortened up the clip here. Nice deep carry clip, and it is going to be reversible. And I'm a big fan of this textured acrylic. You can see the steel liners with the milling here. And on this side, you can actually see the liner moving when you press on the button. And when this locks out, you can see it move over there. Very cool. And this is some good high quality acrylic. I like this knife coming in at the $55 price point, depending on which version you get. Next up, we're taking a look at the Mini Mystic here. Now, people who've been around for quite a while will remember the original Mystic. That is a much more premium knife and is quite a bit larger than the Mini here. We are looking at a price point of about $75 to $80, pretty much with every Kizer that you can imagine. It's going to have multiple versions, and a lot of times those other versions are going to be different prices because of different materials and steels. So you're going to have lots of options. You're not going to have to worry about that. Now, this particular one, it's going to come in right around $75. On Amazon, they have it at $76. We're looking at Nitro V with that clip point style blade, about 3.2 inches. Nice sharpening choil here, and we do have dual thumb studs for deployment. No front flipper here on this one. The original had kind of a front flipper. You could use it as that, but I don't know that it was intended for that. It was kind of rounded and tough to do. Regardless, we are looking at an aluminum handle here over top of steel, and then we have some burlap micarta, which Kizer does really well. Also, QSP has done some really nice stuff recently. Deep carry clip, it's going to be reversible, making this a fully ambidextrous knife with lots of different versions. I am a Munko maniac. That's what I call him, the Munko man. I'm a Munko maniac. This is an awesome knife. And you had to know it was coming. Kizer, Mini Militol, and Militol. There are 101 variations of this knife here. Again, they're going to range between $50 all the way up to $200 plus, just depending on the version that you get. But here again, we're sticking with some more affordable options. The Mini here is going to be coming in Nitro V, Black G10, and the clear acrylic. Now, this is what I've called, or my son has called, the Spider-Man Militol. This one's also coming in Nitro V. This one has a PVD coated blade and has a double G10 onlay. Both going to be over top of a steel frame, and they're both going to be sporting a deep carry, right hand only steel rollover pocket clip, and they are going to be surface mounted. I always said if you're going to do right hand only, at least recess it, right? They did do it on a couple of other versions, but here they didn't do that. Not a big deal at all, not the end of the world. They both have great access to the liner there. very easy to disengage these knives. You have that triangular Superman cutout, and then we have a nice front flipper here. The premium versions that are in titanium, like their frame locks with the DLC coatings, those are equally very nice, but they are going to be quite a bit more expensive, like this one here. So they have lots of options from $40, $50 all the way up to a couple of $100. These are going to range from 2.8 inches all the way up to the full size Militol being about 3.4 inches in their blade length. They also have a Militol fixed blade, and I bet they're going to have some other variations of this coming out soon, maybe in a button compression lock. You guys will have to let me know what was your favorite Kizer from today's video, and let me know what some of your favorite Kizers of all time are. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It helps push the video out there to more people. If you're new here and you enjoy knife and EDC content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell. That'll notify you anytime I release new content. I'll put up a couple of more videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.